Good morning, YouTubers, and welcome once again to the mess hall here at Dr. Jet Laboratories. As you can see, I'm a slow builder. I don't go into the stink bug works and crank out 8 hours worth of work on something. I go in there and crank out 20 minutes worth on work on something and then go do something else. But I thought I would show you my progress. A lot of what I do here is I don't go through the nuts and bolts of how. I spend a little more time on the what, where, and why. And to that, I want to see Wayne succeed with this. So I'm doing a lot of explaining why I do things and why something is in a certain location and not another. Today, in a radio-controlled boat, you want your antenna up here as high as you can get it. But in these scale boats and such, it looks kind of ugly. So here's what I've done. I've mounted the radio, the receiver, here on that little support. And I just ran an antenna tube and heated it up and bent it so it'll stick up here in this little tunnel and give me better radio reception. If you look at the jet stepper, for example, I just left it laying down in the floor because I don't get more than 40 or 50 feet away with that thing. If I'm out in the far reaches of the lake, that wouldn't be a good location for the antenna, so a lot of that is where I'm going to be running. So this one, I have it sticking up a little bit, and fiberglass, unlike carbon fiber, fiberglass is invisible to radio waves. Now here's a little trick, and a lot of you probably don't know this. Now I use dual lock Velcro on this, but you can use any kind of Velcro. But here's the secret on Velcro. A lot of times, you'll put something on and it won't stick or it'll come off. And I don't know if you can see this in the light or not, but you see there's something on the back of the receiver case. I like to, when I'm going to be putting Velcro down and it's going to be there for a while, I'll paint whatever surface it's going on with contact cement. Let the contact cement dry and then put the Velcro on it. That way, you see, when I pop the Velcro off, it stays where it's supposed to stay. So there's just a little tip on getting your Velcro to stick. You can undo your Velcro, doesn't tear off. See, there's my antenna coming out. And there you go. Now, here's another thing I accomplished yesterday. I took this piece of, 1/4 inch thick, and this is kind of pool noodle foam. And if you notice, I drew on it in red that kind of matches the sponson. So down in the bottom of the sponson, I cut out this bit of foam and laid it in there. And then I came back with a pool noodle and I carved an area out to fit the battery, and then I carved the rest of the pool noodle to fit the sponsons. Pool noodles carve really well with a good sharp knife. You can just shave off little thin bits and it works real well. So now I've got my batteries shoved up into here, and it's like, how on earth do you get the batteries out? And here's what I had to do, boys and girls. I don't want to be pulling on these wires. That's a bad thing. So I wrapped my battery with strapping tape and left a good long handle that I take a stick and I can push it in there with a stick and get it in there. And I have enough of this hanging out that I can pull them out. So there is the secret to mounting the batteries. Carve some foam to fit. Put a strap on that you can pull on the battery and not the wires to get it out. And away you go. And this strap, you know, if you don't like it, you just cut it off and take it off and you use your batteries elsewhere. These are the batteries from the mini Dom, and I can just fold this strap over there and put it in the boat, and no one's any the wiser. So there you go, a little short update today on how to deal with Velcro. And in fact, you can get foam up in these sponsons and get your batteries up in the sponsons. As you can see by the remaining battery here, there's not a whole lot of lead left. And so when I insert the speed control, it's going to need some sort of pigtail adapter that I can wire these things up in parallel. I will cross that bridge when I get to it. Until then, jet out.